Did you know that the biggest problem facing everyone when they're trying to find success isn't their intelligence, it's not their background, and it's certainly not their education? No, it's far more simple than that. It's knowing yourself and it's creating a path that's right for you. I did it the wrong way. I did what everybody does. I listened to the people who spoke to me about my future. I listened to the social influences about my future. And I'm going to tell you something. None of it worked. Well, not for long anyway. And that's when I developed this simple set of tools so that I could learn about myself. And I'm going to share them with you in this Life Starter Pack series. If you hang in there, what you're going to get is your own tool set so that you can figure out your pathway to your own success. And everybody's success is different because everybody's different. Hey everyone, welcome to our Life Starter Pack. This is a series for anyone, no matter what your age, who feels like they need a fresh start or want to finally build the life that they truly want. Now, I am B. Vans, and my company helps people get jobs, change careers, and really kickstart their personal and home lives. And we're not about quick fixes or fancy tricks. We focus on real skills, the really tough skills that actually make a huge difference in how your life is going to play out. And for this first video, we're diving into the most important skill of all, which is getting to know you. Now, that's pretty much everyone's goal, right? I mean, these things can be difficult to learn, sure, but the real reason is they're very difficult to teach. Very few people start by teaching you these most important life skills. They're going to make a huge difference in how your life is going to roll. Why is it difficult? Because each of us is unique. You are unique. You have your own ideas and goals and desires. You also learn differently than other people, and you do it for your own reasons. So, because of all those variables, it's just not possible for anyone to give you a plan or a roadmap or a pathway to your future. The only one who really knows you is you. So we're not going to do any of that standard stuff. What we are going to do is give you the tools so that you can do it your own way. We'll show you what the tools are. We'll explain a bit about why we developed this and kind of the thinking about self-guidance that we've developed over the years. And then it'll be up to you to take these simple tools and make them your own, because then you'll be able to build a great life that is yours and yours alone. So today I'm here to talk to you about your future, but I'm no palm reader and I'm definitely not a psychic or an astrologist. I myself have been through a lot of tough times over the years. That's 50 years plus. And I truly wish someone had shared these ideas and this process with me back when I was in my 20s or 30s. I learned most of it the hard way by making a ton of mistakes. Literally, almost nothing worked out as I planned. But like they say, you learn from your mistakes. And what I've learned, I want to share with you so you can avoid some of these frustrations. Now, each one of us has gone through tough times, because no one doesn't. And if you are one of the lucky ones that hasn't gone through tough times, just enjoy the ride while it lasts, because it definitely won't. And it's when things are not working out that the tools and the ideas, the process and the info in this video series is really going to help. They'll reduce the time you're struggling and increase your performance when things are going well. So hang in. Now, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, but somehow this video came into your feed, well, the algo may be telling you something about what you're really looking for. It's what everyone who wants more to life, more answers to life, is looking for. It's not just information, but a process, a pathway. Now, I learned this stuff from thinking about an approach to life when I was in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, and just about everything in my life the wrong way. I'm definitely one of those learn from your mistakes kind of people. So nothing worked out as I planned or thought it would work out. Literally nothing. It's kind of like my one great strength has been that I could take a beating, but after a while, I promise you, it gets old and it gets really frustrating. So yeah, you should learn from your mistakes, but you need to put yourself in a place so that you think about them properly. That's what we're going to get to. So the thing is, it's difficult to find guidance, true focused guidance anyway. I mean, think about this. How you were taught to handle challenges growing up really shapes how you deal with them now. Your parents or the adults who raised you had a big influence on your programming. Now we see three common ways that people are raised, and each one creates unique ways of seeing the world and also creates unique struggles. Now, maybe you were always carefully nurtured, or maybe it was a mix of support and tough love, or maybe you were mostly left to figure it out on your own and just got lots of criticism. Now, it's not about blaming anyone. It's about understanding how your past experiences affect your present reactions. Because the way you were taught or programmed to deal with obstacles that come up in your life has a ton to do with how you're going to handle them now. And your parents or parent or your teacher had a big influence on your programming. So let's start to think about it so you can decide how to rewire your thinking for success in life. Success however you define it. When I was in my 30s, I thought I had it all figured out. I had a good job, I had good friends, life felt fun. Until it wasn't. Many of you will go through this until it was a moment too. Maybe you feel stuck in your job, or unsure about your future, or you're just feeling restless. Now, we've worked with tons of people, ages 18 to 50 plus, who struggle to succeed in the world. And it's amazing how often the way they were raised by parents or parent affects the way they see the world and who they are in the world. Each way creates its own problems, as I've said, and each person reacts to each environment in his or her own unique way. Now, plenty of mental health therapists will have a lot of opinions and directions about what that means to you in your adult life. And I'm not here to argue with them or debate them. I'm just here to acknowledge that you likely grew up in a home environment that was pretty close to one of these scenarios. Now, each one of them created a unique reaction in you to that type of treatment. And I want you to think about that and pick the one that was closest to your experience. As a young person, you see the world through your own experiences, right? That's learning, yeah? Now, how you were raised, the type of household you were raised in, it sets you up to see the world in a particular way. To succeed in the way you want in the world, you must first see the world clearly as it relates to you. Now, here's where the problems arise. You learned that the world works a certain way based upon how you were raised and the world around you when you were raised that way. Whether it's the work world, life in general, that world doesn't work at all that way. It's a combination of all the people in it that you will encounter and all of their experiences. It's not just about you, but most of us just think about the world we know, and the world we're familiar with, and the world we are comfortable in, and how that works. Now, I saw the world as a battleground where you avoided landmines and sniper fire and didn't foster relationships with people who corrected you. Just wanted to be left alone to do my work, which is to say, I totally saw the world wrong. When people in my life tried to mentor me, I didn't see them as mentors. I saw them as correcting me or punishing me or criticizing me. So I resisted their input. That was totally me. Now, sometime in my early 30s, I began to realize that my approach to life was wrong. I was focused, I was working hard, I was diligent. By many standards, I was succeeding. And it all seemed like financial, family, and friends' roses. The future was like a hot white light. Life was fun and fulfilling until it wasn't. So let's avoid that until it wasn't moment for you. But when I hit that, I did what a lot of people do when they find themselves in that moment. I turned to self-help books, famous life coaches like Tony Robbins and Robert Kiyosaki and Dale Carnegie, even Thomas Aquinas and Marcus Aurelius. Who is Marcus Aurelius? Well, he was a high-performing Roman emperor in like the year 160 and kept a personal journal about all the decisions he made and how he made those decisions. They were later turned into a book called Meditations. You should definitely read it. Now, I've also searched for answers from Jordan Peterson and even Simon Sinek. But here's the thing. They all have these grand ideas, big thoughts, big concepts. They don't know the core you, though. They can't. They know themselves. They know how to explain what worked for them. And then they ask you, even show you, how to repeat their methods so that you can get what you want. Now, I'm not here to say they have it wrong in any way. They have it right in ways that work for them. Mirror their methods and you'll do better. For a while. The basics for succeeding with life coaches and self-improvement is to understand who you are as an individual. I'm not a life coach. I'm more of a mentor. What I want for you is to take some real focused time to figure you out. It may take a few days or a week or a month, but that is time well spent, dudes. Otherwise, you'll just go with the flow, take the paths of least resistance, and then, end up where you don't want to be, which is somewhere circling average. And in America, average is not where anyone really wants to be. But the great thing is that you can find your own path to greatness in a world or a game that you create. Jordan Peterson said something like this: the thing people can do is create a new game if the game they are in isn't working. And yeah, I'm paraphrasing, and yes, he is a master teacher. But the point's important. In America, or really most of the free world, there is an opportunity for you in ways you may not see or know right now. But the most important thing, most important bit to Jordan Peterson's thinking for people just starting out is that they must take the time to understand themselves and then choose something that they want to do and then be all in on that something. And he's absolutely right. But that first part, the know yourself part, that is the constant in this life equation. Wait, what? Well, here's our simple, powerful life success equation. Know yourself plus pick a path plus go all in equals success for you. Now, you see that first part, know yourself? That's the key. No one can help you with that part except you. That's why so many people turn to mental health therapy, or in the case of too many young men, develop long-term health problems far too early in life because they choose the wrong path for success for them. But it's also the reason why it's vitally important for you to spend real time thinking about what you really want to do, what you really want for the right reasons. So, since it would appear the easy subjects, self-motivation techniques, pump-up talks, failure as part of the process speeches, are competing with the easy way to make $1 million or get 1 million followers speeches, we're going to tackle the core issue. I'm going to teach you how to do it. You must know yourself, and no one, as far as I can tell, is giving you a way to do that. Then if you keep watching our videos, you'll learn how to pick a path for your own success. And once you're on that path, your life, your living will actually begin.